Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're busy all day, but somehow nothing important gets done? You start the morning with big plans, but by the time the day is over, you've spent hours on social media, handled other people's problems, and answered a bunch of texts, but your own goals still untouched. Sound familiar? The truth is, most people don't struggle with time. They struggle with focus. They spend too much energy on things that don't matter and then wonder why they're stuck in the same place year after year. But here's the good news. You don't have to live like that. The moment you learn to focus on what truly matters, your whole life changes. Your productivity skyrockets, your stress disappears, and you finally start making real progress toward your dreams. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. By the end of this, you'll have no more excuses for wasting time on things that don't serve your future. So stick with me, because what you're about to hear could be the wake-up call you've been waiting for. Most people don't realize this, but not everything in life deserves your attention. Your time, your energy, and your focus are all limited. And if you keep giving them away to every little thing that comes your way, you'll always feel drained, frustrated, and stuck. The reason so many people feel exhausted at the end of the day isn't because they worked too hard. It's because they wasted too much time on things that didn't matter. Think about it. Every single day there are distractions competing for your focus. Your phone lights up with notifications. People demand your time. Emails pile up. And before you know it, your day is gone. But what did you actually accomplish? Did you move closer to your goals, or did you just stay busy without making any real progress? This is the trap most people fall into. They confuse being busy with being productive, and that's why they never get ahead. The hard truth is this. If you don't decide what deserves your attention, everything will steal it. You have to be intentional about where you put your focus. Not every phone call needs to be answered. Not every email needs a response right away. Not every person deserves a spot in your life. If you keep reacting to every little thing, you'll never have the energy to work on what truly matters. And one of the biggest mistakes people make is spending too much time worrying about things that don't add value to their lives. They get caught up in gossip, drama, negativity, and distractions that have nothing to do with their future. They focus on what other people are doing instead of working on their own goals. They scroll through social media, comparing themselves to strangers instead of using that time to build something meaningful. And let me tell you something. If you're always giving your energy to things that don't serve you, you will never reach your full potential. You have to start protecting your focus like it's the most valuable thing you own, because it is. Where you put your attention determines the quality of your life. If you focus on problems, you'll see more problems. If you focus on opportunities, you'll find more opportunity. If you focus on negativity, you'll attract more negativity. But if you focus on growth, success, and progress, that's exactly what you'll get. So how do you take control of your focus? It starts with being aware of what's stealing it. Pay attention to how you spend your time. Ask yourself, is this helping me grow, or is this just a distraction? Is this moving me forward, or is it holding me back? If the answer is no, then it doesn't deserve your time. It's that simple. You also have to learn to say no without feeling guilty. Too many people waste their time on things they don't even want to do because they're afraid of disappointing others. But every time you say yes to something that doesn't matter, you're saying no to something that does. Your dreams, your goals, your success, they all require your full attention. And if you're too busy focusing on the wrong things, you'll never have the time or energy to achieve them. Another important thing to remember is that not every thought deserves your focus either. How many times have you wasted hours overthinking things that don't even matter? You worry about what people think, replay past mistakes in your head, or stress over things you can't control. And what does that do for you? Nothing. Just drains your energy and takes your focus away from what's important. If you want to succeed, you have to learn to control your mind. You have to stop giving attention to every little thought that pops into your head and start training yourself to focus only on what moves you forward. At the end of the day, you only have so much energy to give. If you keep wasting it on things that don't deserve it, you'll never have enough left for what truly matters. So be intentional. Protect your focus. Stop giving your time, energy, and attention to things that don't serve your future. The moment you do that, you'll feel less stressed, more in control, and finally on the path to success. Most people wake up every morning without a clear plan for their day. They just go with the flow, responding to whatever comes their way, handling problems as they show up, and dealing with distractions without even realizing it. And by the time the day is over, they look back and wonder why they didn't accomplish anything meaningful. That's because they never took control of their focus in the first place. They let the world decide what they should do instead of taking charge of their own time. If you want to focus on what truly matters, you have to start each day with a clear purpose. Think about the difference between a person who wakes up with a plan and someone who just drifts through the day. The first person knows exactly what needs to be done. They wake up with energy, ready to tackle their top priorities. They don't waste time scrolling on their phone first thing in the morning or getting lost in distractions. Instead, they set clear goals, organize their tasks, and attack their day with intention. But the second person, they hit snooze a few times, check their notifications before even getting out of bed, and let the day decide for them what they're going to do. They spend more time reacting to life than actually creating the life they want. And by the end of the day, they wonder why they feel so unproductive. If you don't start your day with purpose, you're setting yourself up for failure. It's like trying to drive somewhere without knowing the destination. You'll just keep going in circles, wasting time and energy without ever making real progress. You have to wake up with a plan. You have to know exactly what matters most and commit to focusing on that before anything else. The most successful people don't waste their mornings on distractions. They use that time to get clear on their priorities, visualize their goals, and take action. One of the biggest things that stop people from staying focused is letting small, unimportant tasks take over their day. They spend hours answering emails, handling other people's problems, and doing things that don't actually contribute to their success. They mistake being busy for being productive, but being busy isn't the same as making progress. You can spend all day running around doing 100 different things, but if none of them are actually moving you closer to your goals, then what's the point? When you start your day, you have to decide what truly matters. Not everything deserves your time and energy. You have to be selective. Before you dive into work, take a moment to ask yourself, what is the most important thing I need to accomplish today? Not 10 things, not 5, just 1 or 2 key priorities. These are the things that will move the needle in your life. These are the things that will bring you closer to your dreams. And once you identify them, those tasks should come first. Too many people spend their time on easy tasks just to feel productive. They check emails, clean their desk, scroll through news articles, all things that give the illusion of getting things done, but don't actually contribute to their long-term success. You have to be different. You have to train yourself to focus on what's truly important, even when it's hard. That means learning to delay gratification, avoiding meaningless distractions, and disciplining yourself to work on what matters most first. A great way to take control of your focus is by having a simple morning routine that sets the tone for the rest of your day. This doesn't mean you have to wake up at 4 a.m. and do a 2-hour workout, followed by journaling and meditation. It just means having a few intentional habits that help you start the day right. Maybe it's spending 5 minutes reviewing your goals, planning out your priorities, and mentally preparing yourself for the day ahead. Maybe it's avoiding your phone for the first hour so you don't get lost in distractions. Whatever it is, the key is to start your day with purpose, not randomness. When you wake up every morning with a clear vision of what needs to be done, everything changes. You stop wasting time on things that don't matter. You stop letting distractions take over your day. You stop feeling like you're constantly behind. Instead, you move with intention. You work on what's important. And by the time the day is over, you can actually feel good about what you've accomplished. Focusing on what matters starts the moment you wake up. If you take control of your morning, you take control of your day. And if you take control of your day, you take control of your life. So stop letting the world decide how you spend your time. Stop starting your mornings without direction. Wake up with purpose. Focus on what truly matters and watch how quickly your life starts to change. Distractions are everywhere. They're on your phone, in your inbox, in your thoughts, and sometimes even in the people around you. Every single day you are fighting against things that are trying to steal your attention. The reason so many people struggle to focus on what matters is because they don't realize how much time they are wasting on things that don't move them forward. They get caught up in distractions, and before they know it, the day is over and they've accomplished nothing meaningful. If you want to truly focus on what matters, you have to learn how to shut out distractions and protect your attention like your future depends on it, because it does. Think about the last time you were working on something important and suddenly your phone buzzed. You told yourself you'd just check it for a second, but that 1 second turned into 5 minutes, then 10. Then suddenly you were scrolling through social media, watching videos, or responding to messages that had nothing to do with your goals. By the time you look back at your work, you had lost your momentum. That's what distractions do. They don't just steal your time, they steal your focus, your energy, and your progress. Every time you allow yourself to get distracted, you make it harder to get back into a state of deep concentration. Most people don't realize how much time they waste every single day. If you tracked your time for a full 24 hours, you'd probably be shocked at how many minutes, maybe even hours, are lost to things that don't matter. Checking notifications, scrolling on your phone, watching random videos, responding to every message instantly. These things add up. And the worst part, they don't give you anything in return. They don't make you better. They don't help you grow. And they don't move you closer to your dreams. They just fill up your time and make you feel busy without actually making progress. You have to be intentional about removing distractions if you want to focus on what really matters. That means setting boundaries with your time, your environment, and even the people around you. If your phone is the biggest source of distraction, put it in another room while you work. If emails constantly interrupt your focus, set specific times to check them instead of responding all day long. If certain people are always pulling you into their problems or wasting your time, Learn to say no. You have to protect your focus like it's the most valuable thing you own, because it is. One of the biggest reasons people struggle with distractions is because they don't create an environment that supports focus. If your phone is always within reach, if your workspace is cluttered, if your TV is on in the background, if you have constant noise around you, of course you're going to struggle to concentrate. Your brain can only handle so many inputs at once, and the more distractions you allow into your space, the harder it is to focus. If you want to get serious about eliminating distractions, start by creating a distraction-free environment. That means cleaning up your workspace, putting your phone on silent or in another room, setting clear work hours, and making it as easy as possible for yourself to stay focused. It's also important to train your brain to resist distractions. The truth is, we've conditioned ourselves to constantly seek out quick hits of dopamine, the little rush we get from checking notifications, scrolling through social media, or switching from one thing to another. But this habit is killing our ability to focus. The more we give in to distractions, the harder it becomes to concentrate for long periods. You have to retrain your mind to stay focused, and that takes practice. One way to do this is by using a technique called deep work. This means setting aside dedicated blocks of time where you focus on one important task without any interruptions. No phone, no emails, no distractions. Just pure focus. Start with small blocks of time, like 25 or 30 minutes, and gradually increase them as you get better at concentrating. Over time, you'll build the mental strength to focus for longer periods without feeling the urge to check your phone or switch tasks. Another powerful way to eliminate distractions is by being clear about your priorities. When you know exactly what matters most, it becomes easier to ignore everything else. The reason so many people get distracted is because they don't have a clear direction. They don't know what their top priorities are, so they allow anything and everything to take up their time. But when you have a clear goal in front of you, distractions become easier to resist. Every time something tries to pull your attention away, ask yourself, does this help me get closer to my goal? If the answer is no, ignore it. Discipline is about making the choice over and over again to focus on what truly matters and let go of everything else. At the end of the day, your ability to focus will determine your success. Distractions are not just small inconveniences. They are the enemy of progress. Every minute you waste on something unimportant is a minute you could have spent building your future. If you truly want to make an impact, if you want to achieve your biggest goals, you have to take control of your focus. That means eliminating distractions, training your mind to concentrate, and protecting your time like it's your most valuable asset. Because it is. Your focus is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. But just like any muscle, if you don't use it properly, it weakens over time. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to focus is that they haven't learned how to train their minds to stay locked in on what truly matters. Instead, they allow themselves to be pulled in different directions, constantly reacting to distractions instead of controlling their attention. If you want to sharpen your focus, you have to be intentional about it. You have to build habits and routines that train your mind to stay disciplined even when distractions are tempting you to give in. The first step to sharpening your focus is understanding that your brain craves novelty. It is wired to seek out new information, new stimuli, and new experiences. This is why you feel the urge to check your phone every few minutes, even when you know you shouldn't. It's why you suddenly remember something important to do the moment you sit down to work on something meaningful. Your brain is constantly looking for an excuse to switch tasks. And if you're not careful, you'll spend your entire day bouncing from one thing to another without making real progress on anything important. To sharpen your focus, you have to start training your brain to resist this urge. One powerful way to do this is by practicing deep work. Deep work means dedicating focused, uninterrupted time to a single task, blocking out all distractions, and pushing yourself to stay engaged for longer periods. This might sound simple, but in a world full of constant notifications, endless scrolling, and instant gratification, deep work is a skill that very few people have mastered. Start small. Set a timer for 25 or 30 minutes and focus on one task without looking at your phone, checking your email, or letting your mind wander. As you get better at this, increase the time. Over time, your brain will get used to staying focused for longer periods, and you'll be able to get more done in less time. Another way to sharpen your focus is by setting clear priorities. The truth is, most people don't struggle with distractions because they lack discipline. They struggle because they don't know what they should be focusing on in the first place. When you don't have a clear direction, everything feels important. You end up saying yes to too many things, getting overwhelmed by small tasks, and letting distractions take over your day. But when you know exactly what matters most, it becomes easier to ignore everything else. Take time to define your top priorities. Write them down. Remind yourself of them every single day. The clearer you are about your goals, the stronger your focus will become. It's also important to be mindful of your environment. Your surroundings play a huge role in your ability to focus. If your workspace is messy, your phone is always within reach, and you have constant noise around you, of course, you're going to struggle to concentrate. Your brain has to work harder to filter out distractions, which drains your mental energy and makes it harder to stay focused. If you want to sharpen your focus, set up an environment that supports it. Create a dedicated workspace, remove unnecessary distractions, and make it as easy as possible for yourself to concentrate. Small changes like putting your phone on silent, using noise-canceling headphones, or setting clear work hours can make a huge difference. Another key to sharpening your focus is learning how to say no. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you are saying no to something that actually matters. Most people don't realize how much time they waste on things that don't align with their goals. They agree to unnecessary meetings, respond to every message instantly, and get caught up in other people's priorities instead of focusing on their own. If you want to protect your focus, you have to set boundaries. Learn to say no to things that don't serve your goals. Protect your time like it's the most valuable thing you have, because it is. Finally, sharpening your focus requires taking care of your mind and body. You can't expect yourself to concentrate if you're constantly exhausted, stressed, or mentally drained. Your focus depends on your energy levels, and if you're not getting enough sleep, eating unhealthy foods, or neglecting your mental health, your ability to concentrate will suffer. Make time for rest. Move your body. Fuel yourself with good food. The better you take care of yourself, the sharper your focus will be. At the end of the day, focus isn't something you either have or don't have. It's something you build. It's a skill that takes time and effort to develop, but the good news is the more you practice, the easier it becomes. Start small. Train your brain to resist distractions. Set clear priorities. Create an environment that supports focus. Learn to say no. Take care of yourself. The more intentional you are about sharpening your focus, the more successful you'll be in every area of your life. Your time and energy are limited, and if you don't protect them, the world will consume them for you. Every single day, you are presented with countless opportunities, requests, and distractions that demand your attention. If you say yes to everything, you'll end up exhausted, overwhelmed, and unable to focus on what truly matters. That's why learning to say no is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. It's not just about rejecting things, it's about making room for what's important. Most people struggle to say no because they don't want to disappoint others. They feel guilty when they turn down an invitation, a favor, or an opportunity, even when it doesn't align with their goals. But here's the truth. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve your priorities, you are saying no to something that does. Your time is like a bank account with a limited balance. If you spend it on things that don't move you forward, you have nothing left for what truly matters. The first step in mastering the art of saying no is understanding that you are in control of your own time. Nobody else is responsible for protecting your focus. Only you can do that. When people ask for your time, they are thinking about their needs, not yours. It's up to you to decide whether something is worth your energy. And that decision should be based on your goals, not on guilt, pressure, or the fear of disappointing others. One of the most effective ways to say no is to be clear and direct. You don't have to give long explanations or make up excuses. A simple, I appreciate the offer, but I can't commit to that right now is enough. The more confident you are in your decision, the easier it will be for others to respect it. If you hesitate or over-explain, people will sense that uncertainty and push back, making it harder for you to stand your ground. It's also important to recognize that saying no doesn't mean you're being rude or selfish. In fact, it's the opposite. When you protect your time and focus, you're able to give your best to the things that truly matter. You can show up fully for your work, your family, and your passions because you're not drained by unnecessary commitments. Think about the most successful people in the world. They don't say yes to everything. They are selective with their time because they understand its value. If you want to stay focused on your goals, you need to do the same. One of the biggest challenges when learning to say no is dealing with the expectations of others. People may not like it when you start setting boundaries. They may be used to you always saying yes, and when you change that, they might react with disappointment or frustration. But that's okay. You are not responsible for managing other people's feelings. You are responsible for protecting your own priorities. Over time, people will adjust, and the ones who truly respect you will understand. Another important thing to remember is that saying no is not just about declining external distractions. Sometimes the biggest distractions come from within. You have to learn to say no to your own bad habits, procrastination, and unnecessary worries. If you constantly check social media, waste time on unimportant tasks, or allow self-doubt to creep in, you are sabotaging your own focus. Just like you set boundaries with others, you need to set boundaries with yourself. Discipline is about being intentional with your choices, even when nobody is watching. A powerful way to make saying no easier is to have a clear vision for what you want. When you know exactly where you're going, it becomes easier to recognize which opportunities align with your goals and which ones don't. You won't have to struggle with indecision because your priorities will guide you. This is why successful people always emphasize the importance of having a strong why. When you are deeply connected to your purpose, distractions lose their power over you. It's also helpful to create systems that protect your time automatically. For example, if you get constant requests for meetings or favors, set clear boundaries in advance. Let people know your availability, create standard responses, or delegate tasks that don't require your attention. The less time you spend making decisions about what to say yes or no to, the more time you have to focus on your actual work. At the end of the day, saying no is not about rejecting people. It's about choosing yourself. It's about valuing your time enough to use it wisely. If you don't set boundaries, other people will set them for you. And if you let that happen, you'll wake up one day realizing you spent your life fulfilling other people's agendas instead of pursuing your own dreams. The choice is yours. You can either protect your focus or let the world steal it from you. But if you truly want to succeed, you need to be strong enough to say no. Your environment plays a massive role in your ability to focus on what truly matters. If you're surrounded by clutter, chaos, and constant noise, whether physical, digital, or emotional, you will struggle to give your attention to the things that are important. Your surroundings influence your mindset, your energy, and your ability to stay committed to your goals. If you don't take control of your environment, it will take control of you. One of the biggest ways your environment affects your focus is through distractions, whether it's the endless notifications on your phone, the people around you demanding your attention, or even the mess on your desk. Every little distraction adds up. Your mind has to work harder to filter out the noise, which drains your energy and makes it harder to concentrate on what actually matters. You might think it's just a quick check of my phone, but those small interruptions add up over time and pull you away from deep, meaningful work. If you want to focus on what matters, you have to design an environment that supports your success. Start with the physical space around you. A cluttered, messy workspace leads to a cluttered, messy mind. When you sit down to work and see piles of paper, old coffee cups, and random items scattered around, your brain gets overwhelmed. Your mind registers everything in your field of vision, even if you're not consciously thinking about it. That's why cleaning up your space can immediately make you feel clearer and more in control. When your environment is organized, your thoughts become more structured, and it's easier to stay on track. It's not just about physical clutter, it's also about digital clutter. If your phone is constantly buzzing with notifications, if your email inbox is filled with hundreds of unread messages, or if you have 15 tabs open on your browser, your focus is being pulled in too many directions. Your brain is wired to react to new stimuli. So every time your phone lights up or you see an email pop up, it takes effort to resist the urge to check it. That's why one of the best things you can do for your focus is to turn off unnecessary notifications. Put your phone on silent, close out distractions, and create a workspace that allows you to be fully present. The people around you also play a huge role in your ability to focus. If you are constantly surrounded by negativity, drama, or people who don't respect your time, it will be nearly impossible to stay focused on what truly matters. Some people drain your energy just by being around them. They bring negativity, they complain, they gossip, and they distract you from your goals. If you let these people into your space, they will pull you off track without you even realizing it. Protecting your focus means being intentional about who you allow into your life. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who push you to be better, and who respect your time and energy. Another important factor is setting clear boundaries with your environment. If you work from home, make sure you have a dedicated space where you can focus without interruptions. If you're in an office, set clear expectations with your coworkers about when you need uninterrupted time. The more control you have over your environment, the easier it is to stay locked in on your goals. You can't always control every distraction, but you can minimize them by setting up systems that protect your focus. Your mental environment is just as important as your physical and social environment. If you fill your mind with negative thoughts, self-doubt, and worries about things you can't control, it will be impossible to focus on what really matters. Your mind is like a garden. If you plant negativity, doubt, and distractions, that's what will grow. But if you plant discipline, clarity, and purpose, you will stay focused and move forward with confidence. One way to control your mental environment is by feeding your mind with positive, focused content. Read books that inspire you. Listen to motivational talks, and surround yourself with ideas that align with your goals. The more you fill your mind with focused, intentional thoughts, the easier it will be to block out distraction. A great way to take control of your environment is by creating routines and rituals that set the tone for focus. When you start your day with purpose, whether that's by meditating, exercising, or reviewing your goals, you are programming your mind to focus on what matters. If you wake up and immediately check social media or start reacting to other people's needs, you're letting the world dictate your focus instead of taking charge of it yourself. The way you start your day determines how the rest of it will go. Be intentional about your morning routine, and you'll set yourself up for success. At the end of the day, focus is not just about willpower, it's about creating an environment that makes it easy to focus on what matters. If you constantly put yourself in a chaotic, distracting space, you will struggle no matter how disciplined you try to be. But if you take control of your surroundings, if you clean up your space, remove distractions, protect your time, and fill your mind with purpose, you will make it 10 times easier to stay focused on your goals. Your environment is either working for you or against you. Choose to design a life that supports your success.